day. From M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, this is Madden NFL 21. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Daniel Jones and the New York Giants.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the New York Giants.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Two teams that met in Super Bowl 35 down in Tampa. The Ravens and Giants are underway. Now Dion Lewis to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And now it's second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Ravens lead at 7-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here's Lewis. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Hey, we don't need no more penalties right here.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
And right away, he lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Allow me a second here to gush, because in his college career, the only player in NCAA history to rush for over 1,500 yards and pass for over 3,500 yards in a season, and he did it twice.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. Yet he only won the Heisman Trophy once.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. They'll run with Dobbins. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a first and goal as good running gets him down to about the 4-yard line. He wanted that end zone. Powerful running, but he couldn't quite get there.
And that's going to really make him upset. And right now, there's no way he's letting a coach take him out of the game. He's going to want the ball again, so he actually does get into the end zone, hopefully on his next carry.
First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 4 yards out as the Ravens push further out in front. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here's Lewis. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown.
Ravens.
So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Tucker now for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
The conversion is no good on the fake extra point.
But I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do when we look at the stat sheet? We go
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Malik Harrison gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Jones hit, and the ball's out. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And that stretches the lead to 27. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Saquon Barkley.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And it's 3rd down.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Jones. They'll get this out to Barkley complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. This is brought in at the 21. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And they'll run the option to start the drive. They'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Logan Ryan that time who knocked it away. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. It's caught inside the 25.
I need to get my swag right.
All the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead, 61 yards, and the Ravens continue to pour it on. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this 1st half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd down.
Jackson from the shotgun. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Des Bryant there to make the grab. And the Ravens add on.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Tucker now to add the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.